if Mean Mark Callous would have gotten that same pop that Taker got, that same push, where do you think you would have taken that Mean Mark Callous character?
Well, let me get another look.
You can trust Omos with your brand.
Absolutely. If you want somebody to go out and represent your brand around the world, somebody 7'4", he would lift the urn, and then that's where it started.
That's true.
And then because I didn't pander to the audience.
The last time you and I were actually together, the guest we had was a little bit different than what we typically would bring onto the show.
Bro, what are you doing?
I know.
No politics.
No politics.
Yeah, no politics, brother. How long and how often do I have to say it? No politics.
No politics. Ever. We're never going to have anything political on the show, ever. Right?
Nope.
Yeah. No politicians, especially.
Oh, man.
They're the worst.
We're sports. We're wrestling. We're entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertainment might be a stretch.
We're definitely not entertainment.
No. But come on, man. What do you want? What do you got to say?
All I'm going to say is pretty cool time, pretty cool day to be able to sit down, whether you like him or not. We had the opportunity to sit down with, at the time, former President Trump and now President-elect Trump.
Yeah. So yeah, we did. It's you did, like you said, we don't get that. You don't get those kind of opportunities to do that. There's been 47 of them.
Well, technically 45.
45.
He will be the 45th president, number 47, but there's been two that are not concurrent.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're a fledgling podcast.
Hanging on by a thread.
Hanging on by a thread. Barely keeping the lights on. When the opportunity presented itself, I think we had to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I know I can hear it. I can hear the comments.
Oh yeah.
Do you hear them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Nazi.
Oh jeez.
Fascist.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Misogynist.
All the things. Here's the thing about the fact that when you have an opportunity to sit down with the president, we are a sports podcast, okay? Yes. I could sit here. I'll tell you who I would love to bring on. There's two that come to the top of my head was President Obama and George W. Bush. Mm-hmm. Both of those. George W. Bush, President Bush was the former owner of the Texas Rangers.
Right.
And to be able to sit down and talk baseball with him, I think would be really cool.
Right.
And President Obama is a massive basketball fan. Yep. And I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him. No matter what your politics are, if you have that opportunity to sit down with a former president or current president, you take it.
Yeah.
Because that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yes.
And that day was, there's been people that have put in the comments, love to hear what that day was like and everything. The day was a lot different for me than it was for you that day.
That's true. My car picked me up at 9:30 at the St. Regis.
For people that don't know, that I was already in New York. I had been in New York since we filmed on Friday. On that Friday, I was in New York on Wednesday. I had a charity event on Thursday. So I go to this charity event on Thursday.
No, what charity? I mean,
it's the Night Stalkers Foundation event for the 160th Special Operations Group. That these folks have done just amazing work all over the world. Getting some of the baddest dudes in the world into places, through helicopters. And these are just amazing pilots. And I had the opportunity every year. I have the opportunity to go to the World Trade Center. They have a dinner there, fundraiser, and I get to be the kind of MC / auctioneer because they can't really afford anybody else, and I'm pretty cheap. It's called free.
Yeah.
So they always ask me to come do it. Just so happens it's the night before the interview with Donald Trump, and I'm. I've prepared for this dinner and what I'm going to say at the dinner and what I'm going to do at the dinner and everything else. And now this gets laid in our lap about 3 or 4 days, less than a week prior.
Well, it was on the radar, but we
Yes.
didn't have any confirmation.
No.
Yeah.
They were, imagine this, close to the vest when it came to dates, times, and everything for the former president, right? Or then locations.
It could be a little more professional, I think. Right?
So we're being told all these different locations. We have no idea like what to do.
Where we're going.
Where do I get a hotel room, buy a plane ticket? Nothing.
Needless to say, we ain't Rogan.
No, he ain't coming to us. He's not getting on a plane and coming to us. So, I get there, I do the event that night, I come back to the hotel. Surprise, surprise. I'm not sleeping very well because I'm about to sit down with the president of the United States the next morning. I didn't have a car there may have been a car at my hotel at 9:30 that morning, but I was up at 5 a.m., about 5 hours of sleep at that. And I met Dalton, our guy that produces everything for us.
Right.
I meet him at his hotel. He's rented all of this equipment in New York. It's all in his hotel. New York hotels are not very big. So he's got everything on luggage carts and everything. I get there and all this stuff is on luggage carts. And we have Emma with us from 9 Line. She's helping do some to help with Dalton. And I call an Uber. Uber comes up. I get like XXL Uber. Guy shows up in like a Nissan Rogue or whatever. And he goes, I can't get all this stuff in the back of this thing. And I'm like, oh my God. So we load up as much as we can. Dalton goes, all right, I'll go ahead and head there. It's like, okay, great. So I order a second Uber, do the same thing. And we got a cart that we have our monitors on and all that stuff. Well, that's the one thing that can't get in there. Emma goes, all right, I'm going to go ahead and head. And I said, guys, I'm just going to walk there. So it's 5:45 in the morning in New York. And what you saw me wearing on the podcast, that's me walking down the street, pushing a cart down
Pretty
the sidewalk.
typical, pretty normal.
For 5 or 6 blocks. I get there. They've dropped Dalton off on the wrong corner. So we've got me and Abe and Dalton carrying stuff. Emma's holding guard over there so nobody steals anything. So it's all sitting on the ground. It's all sitting on the corner.
Oh, you're lucky everything didn't get stolen.
So we're carrying everything. It's pretty early. So it's at this point 6 a.m. So it's pretty quiet still out. We get everything, we get in there, go through security and all that stuff. And then we get up there and they go, you've got 2 hours. And I look at Dalton and Dalton's like, all right. And Dalton built that entire studio in 2 hours. And then they said, when we leave, because we had to leave and they do a security check or whatever. And they were like, and they pretty much told us when we come back, you're done. This is how it's set up. So, as you know, we didn't do mic checks with the president.
No.
We didn't do nothing.
Nothing. We just sat down.
We had to sit down and just start going.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to only get 28 minutes. And
We did a little better than that, didn't we?
Oh, we did about an hour.
Yeah.
Well, he interviewed us for an hour. Which, by the
great?
way,
Wasn't that great though?
what was your going through your head the first 15, 20 minutes?
Like, is he gonna stop talking long enough for me to ask a question? Like I was like, good Lord, man, give me like. It exposed me. Like I don't have the chops to like. But then again, it's like he's an ex-president. So how, like, Mr. President, will you please stop talking and let me get my question in?
Yeah. And I think there's a way of doing that while watching other people that sit down with him. But yeah, we're not. I mean, in that moment,
Yeah.
it's really hard to sit here and go, okay, Mr. President, I understand, but hang on one second. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that with just a normal
Anybody.
person.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I mean, obviously Rogan's, I mean, he's great, but you know, I who did a really good job too was Tyrus. Tyrus did a really, really great interview with him.
He did.
I was really proud of that. But yeah, he's such a fan. I mean, I knew he's a fan. I knew he's a big fan, but it kind of caught me off guard. Like, is this 6 feet under with Donald Trump or?
That's how we should have. That should have been
that should have been our thumbnail. The 6 feet under with Donald Trump. Put the hat put the hat on the Don and. That's what I see there. We're learning. We're learning things.
Make wrestling podcasting great again.
Wow. we ain't doing that. I can promise you that.
We're definitely not doing that. But yeah, it was that part because I'm sitting over there and we're 15 minutes into this thing, and all I'm thinking is we've got roughly 30 minutes, and half of it's him asking you about taking bumps and everything else, and I'm just like, we're not. I mean, we're accomplishing something, but we're not accomplishing.
Yeah,
because we had to submit questions and everything else.
Yeah,
and
we had to run down everything that we.
Yeah,
we had to everything that we were going to talk about and ask. And
I don't think we asked. I think one, maybe two questions that we submitted got asked.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
So it was definitely an experience. One that, you know, I'll always remember, and I think it was a really, it was a really cool moment. And off camera, you know, he spent another 30 minutes or so with us, or 15 to 30 minutes with us, taking pictures and talking, and
that's what I'd like to. I wish we could have, you know, actually had that on film.
Mark,
yes, sir.
Our great sponsor here, Artisan Grange. We've talked about them for a while now. These guys got a little CBD pouch, 5 milligrams, great flavors.
Which flavor is this?
This is the wintergreen. So if you're trying to come off dip or anything like that, you have to cut. These are brand new cans. Artisan Grange help you out. Ooh, look at you with your knife. I've seen you sitting over there with that today.
I thought I might need it.
Artisan Grange is a company started when a group of former tobacco dippers wanted a dip alternative that actually tasted like tobacco. So they decided to make one on one condition. It supports American farmers. No matter what your taste, hemp dip satisfies without tobacco, nicotine, or fake fillers. Each pouch contains 5 milligrams of full spectrum CBD from the hemp. The community of hemp dippers who have switched from tobacco and other alternatives is a proud group of dippers who have pride in dipping as a simple pleasure again. One you can do because you want to, not because you have to, and supporting the American tradition of farm quality. So, thank you, Artisan Grange, for sending us some of this product. You gotten in there yet?
I can't get in.
What is, man? You can tell you're from the West Coast over here in Texas.
The West Coast. The Southwest Coast.
It smells good. It smells like a wintergreen.
Did you get one?
Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
That's pretty,
yeah.
That's good.
Well, thank you, Artisan Grange, once again for supporting 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway.
Thank you, Artisan Grange.
So I don't know if you noticed or not, but like we were filming and his people were like, don't record anything.
Yeah.
Not like audio wise.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, you know, we can do that. You know, you don't ever know what's going to be said or what could, you know, which is understandable. But nothing that there was nothing that was said that, you know, couldn't have been, you know, shared with the world. I don't think. I mean, for the most part,
I was just I was impressed with just how gracious he was. With you know, Michelle and Kaya and Amy and the people that our people. I mean, he was just, and the fact that he come down the one time to apologize because he was going to be 10 minutes late. Like he could have sent anybody down. He didn't have to even send anybody down.
We weren't on a timeline.
No, hey man, I can leave whenever. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just little things like that most people don't get to see. And I'm not here to sing the praises or
No.
you know, I don't care honestly what people think about what we did. We did it and it's done. But you know, there's a lot more there than what I think a lot of people think. And but anyway.
Yeah, we had a great opportunity.
We had a
to do
great
something
opportunity.
Really cool.
We took it, and yeah, so that's why we don't talk about politics on this show.
It was fun, and you know, like I said, if President Obama or President Bush wants to
Come on,
talk about basketball or baseball or whatever, man, we're here.
no politics because that ain't our bag. We ain't journalists.
No, I don't.
We're not even podcasters, really. I mean, we are, but we aren't.
Yeah, but we don't. Me and you don't sit around and talk about politics when the cameras are off. Like that's not our thing. We talk about football more than anything. And
which, by the way,
yes,
your Gamecocks come through, beat those damn Aggies.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. God, I actually meant to call you, but
man, you better.
I had to eat or something.
You better be glad they ain't playing them Longhorns this year. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. Well,
speaking of Texas, real quick.
Oh, what?
You got one Deadman show. Like you got your little homecoming tour going on.
Man. It's the Coming Home One Deadman tour. We're gonna start in Dallas. It starts December. What starts the 13th?
13th.
Yeah, December 13th. I'll be in Dallas. December 14th, I'm going to be home in Houston. And then my current home on December 15th, we're going to be in Austin, Texas. One Deadman shows, all new material. And I've never really explained to people other than, by word of mouth, not by word of mouth, but I mean, I guess people read on the internet. The One Deadman show is it's kind of like the podcast in a lot of ways. I tell stories. The first 45 minutes or so of the show, I have a lot of fun, tell some stories that I think that people might want to hear. And then we do a Q&A, which you never know what you're going to get in the Q&A. But the One Deadman show, it's about 90 minutes. But yeah, it's the One Deadman show coming home. It really isn't for kids. I try to stress that point. But I always get a little taken back when I see 8-9-year-olds, sometimes younger, sitting there on the first row, dressed like the Undertaker, and then think about the material that I'm about to cover.
It's hard to change that
parents,
material.
let me be very clear. This is not a show for younger children. You're not getting the Lord of Darkness Undertaker that you see on TV. You're getting this guy. And sometimes some of the stories are a little of an adult nature. So there it is. That's my disclaimer, my public service announcement. But if you're in Dallas, Houston, or Austin, the One Deadman show, come check us out. I think you'd have a great time.
It's well worth it. You doing VIPs for that as well?
Yeah, we have a VIP meet and greets, and those are a lot of fun. I try to make a moment there and spend a little bit of time. So look forward to seeing everybody in the meet and greets, the true creatures of the night, if you will.
That they are. One Deadman show's fun. I've gone to several of them.
Some better than others, right?
They've all been great, in my opinion. They're all fun
in different ways.
In different ways, yes.
I'm actually, I hope I do another one in Vegas. I gotta have the redemption story.
Well, hopefully, WrestleMania they let you go back on stage in Vegas.
Yeah, it may not be at the Cosmo, but
I think they've kicked you out of that place.
I think I may not be welcome back at the Cosmo.
Your face is.
But
on
you know what
wall.
I do? If I do, I think I will. I'm gonna bring him back out. I'm gonna bring Bear back out.
Bear's a different man these days.
Yeah, he's feeling better, man.
I don't think he wants to go bottle of Jack again. He said that night put him down hard.
Dude. It was Oh, that was bad. That was bad,
my
bad,
gosh,
bad.
that was so funny.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Dude, when I can't remember the guy's name that was like working your green room or whatever, and he walked out and he just looked at us and he goes, I don't think Mark's going to see anybody tonight.
Mark was pulling up some floor.
And you were pumped about going out that night.
It was my birthday.
we were going to go hit the casino.
We were going to play blackjack. We were going to have a good time. I had friends there. I was excited. I was playing Vegas, right? It wasn't like Thomas or Mack or what.
It
was the Cosmo. It was a nice venue. And that damn bear. You know how many times I've said that in my lifetime? That damn bear, that damn Godfather.
He'll get you every time.
He'll get you, man. If you ain't watching, he'll get you.
He'll sneak up on you.
He'll sneak up
man.
on you. Yep, that's for sure. Anyway, hopefully I get a redemption there. But anyway.
Anything special you got planned for the Deadman show without giving any secrets out or anything? Or can we expect some things that we have not seen before from the Deadman show? If anybody has already seen it?
I haven't really. I've started working on some of the stories, but like there's some different things that we might do a little more interactive with the audience, other than the Q&A. So if you're there, be ready to have a good time. That's what I can guarantee you. We'll have a good time.
Cool. Well, looking forward to it. If anybody wants to get tickets for that, we're going to make sure that we have the link in the description for people to go over and be able to pick up their tickets for December 13th, 14th, and 15th, the One Deadman show here in Texas. Coming back home.
Coming home, baby. Coming home.
Bluechew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up, Dennis, at Bluechew.com.
I will try.
Consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
Yeah, I want to.
Bluechew tablets are made in the USA.
Nice. You got to feel that radio
Best
voice
part,
on.
it's done all online. Mm-hmm. No awkward conversations.
Like this one.
I enjoy the awkward conversations.
Like right now.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
can anytime, day or night.
yeah.
And you know what? 6 Feet Under's got a great special for you.
Tell
We've
me
got a
about
special for our listeners. Try Bluechew free.
Ladies and
When you
gentlemen,
use
try
our promo
Bluechew
code
free.
6 feet at checkout, just pay $5
6
shipping.
feet.
That's Bluechew.com. Promo code 6 feet to receive your first month free. Visit Bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Bluechew for sponsoring this podcast and the Godwins.
Just take the Bluechew and let's hit the road.
I've had like 4 of them.
Well, Mark, it's been a while since it's just been me and you. We've had a little bit of a streak of guests on the show. And
we're like legit for a while, huh?
I know we got to bring our audience back to reality that piss poor planning and and us just being tired. Leads us to this moment here.
We had a good run, man. We had a good run.
We had a good run. 2024 was a great year for podcasting.
Even
the holidays are coming up now.
What do you think we got my boy Omos?
Man,
is he not a good dude?
What I loved more than anything was read. I went back and read the comments on his episode.
Yeah,
the fans love him.
Yeah, you can't not.
The fans love him.
You can't not love that guy.
Everyone's saying, for the love of God, give this man a push. Let's get him back on TV. Yeah. Let's get him back in the mix. And if anything comes from that podcast, if that podcast at all helps him some way or another be able to, somebody from WWE sees it and they're able to go, you know what, let's figure this thing out. That's what I hope comes from it.
I hope so. He deserves it. He's such a good guy, and you like to see people like that succeed.
He is so nice and scary all at the same time.
I forget, I'm a big dude, and I know there's people that are bigger than I am, but until you see, I see a picture, and I'm pretty heavy right now, and I'm over 300 pounds, and I look like a child.
Yeah,
I look like a child standing next to him. You look like an infant.
I'm 6'2". And that's what I reminded people on social media when I posted that picture of all three of us. And I was like, just as a reminder, I'm 6'2".
Yeah, he's
I'm taller than most.
yeah, he's such a big man.
Yeah.
Got that deep, bellowy voice and his laugh though, huh?
Did you see what people compared him to? His voice and his laugh and everything?
What?
Papa Shango.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, almost has some Papa Shango in him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. I hope something. I hope they find something good for him.
It's just, they are getting some more big men in WWE. That I feel like that era's coming. That trend's coming back a little bit, where they're getting a few more bigger guys. But he's got to have that. He's got to have a big guy with him.
Yeah,
He has to.
There's nothing else that makes sense. There's nobody there, and there's just nobody on the roster that makes sense. I don't care how over or what you are, if you sacrifice that for any of the wrong. I just don't.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You have to be so judicious in how you handle him, and there's not many people I don't think that he shouldn't just squash. He is a modern day Andre.
Okay, speaking of that, something we talked about earlier today was managers and putting managers with the right people and everything else. Is he the type of guy that needs a manager, you think?
I think. I mean, he has the intellect, and obviously he's good, on the mic talking. I don't know. I think it's just having people that pose any kind of challenge to him at all. He's so much bigger than everybody. I mean, you got Braun Strowman out there. You got Bronson Reed. I could see a Gunther working with Omos, but having to really, really scrap from underneath
God, you want to talk about stretching Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Omos could do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
He could make Gunther go into that toolbox like he's never gone in before.
Yeah. Somebody almost doesn't need to ever be pinned.
It has that Andre type of treatment.
Yeah.
If he loses, it's a DQ. It's a whatever.
There's always an out. There's always an out somewhere, but he doesn't get pinned. There's nothing in almost any scenario that makes sense. I don't care what comic book fantasy world that you live in.
Which means you don't ever have to put a belt on him either.
You don't need a belt.
You can make him an attraction.
No, he doesn't need a belt. He is a walking, breathing, living attraction.
Yeah.
And I could see him coming in as a heel, and then something happening, and him being just a ultra mega worldwide babyface.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to work every week. That's the thing. He doesn't have to work on TV every week. What he can do, and he's willing to do, because he loves the industry and loves everything that comes with that. I mean, as an active competitor, he could be a global ambassador for the sport. Like Andre was the face of wrestling long before the Hogans and anybody else came along. Andre was the face of wrestling. What better can you think? I mean, you can't think of a better person if you want somebody to go out and represent your brand around the world. Somebody 7'4", 400-pound, intelligent human being with tons of personality. And he's like Mark Henry in a sense. Mark will scare you to death looking at him if Mark's got a scowl on his face. But as soon as Mark smiles, you feel like he's a big teddy bear.
You can trust Omos with your brand.
My gosh.
You can put the brand in his hands, and you can trust that he's going to do the right thing every time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's super special about him.
Yep.
And that global aspect was something I was going to ask you about. Is a guy like that, somebody that you send overseas and be that ambassador of WWE and the current product? Because I think that I think globally, he's more of an attraction than he is in America.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people, Americans are used to big humans.
Yeah.
We see football players and basketball players all the time. But you go to some of these countries where the people aren't quite as big.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him walking down the streets of Tokyo somewhere or anywhere like that, or
Exactly.
as an ambassador to the WWE?
Yeah.
I mean, and then when you have talent that he can work against too, you get two for the price of one. I really hope that they figure that out.
And I don't know what WWE's footprint is in just Africa, but I mean, in Africa, I mean, I feel like the money is there, you know what I mean? And if WWE ever wanted to tap into that market more,
there must be some kind of market there. I mean, like I know on one of my platforms, like I'll go through there and like Lagos, Nigeria, is like there's more followers there. But I mean, so there's a whole there's a
and
whole.
Does WWE do shows there?
I've never been on one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they haven't. I mean, I know we've been to South Africa. And,
Yeah.
But I mean, my goodness,
I'm telling you.
can you imagine?
If they did it, first of all, if you do a match there, he's got to be involved, right? He has to be.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
You want to talk about selling out whatever arena, stadium, whatever they've got there?
It would be huge. I don't know. I don't know all the logistics.
Yeah.
Of working with people in those countries. I don't know if it's all what that entails. But my goodness, if there is a market that needs to be tapped into, my goodness.
Well,
I'm sure. I'm talking because I don't have any contact. I don't talk to any of the marketing geniuses that.
I imagine if there's money to be made there,
they're on it. They're working on it somehow. I'm sure. But for our audience, I'm just a big fan of the human being and
super nice guy,
and loves the WWE and being part of that. And you just want to see people like that succeed.
He kind of tripped out when he saw Theo Rossi too, because Theo Rossi came in right after he had that.
Yeah.
And I think Omos is like a big fan of the series Luke Cage that Theo was in, and he was just like, "Oh my God!" Because I can't believe
they talked for a while.
Yeah, he did. He got pictures. They exchanged numbers, everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's always funny watching like the guests when they're here.
Yeah.
As they pass, as one's coming in and one's going out. It's the interactions are.
Especially when they're fans of
each other,
fans of wrestling, and all of a sudden it's somebody outside of wrestling. They come in, they're like, "Oh my God!" It's like they're excited to come on to be on Undertaker's podcast, but now they get to meet another wrestler or somebody else, and that's always fun. Yeah. So let's. I want to do some questions. I haven't done like a Q&A with you by yourself in a while, and we've got some good ones in there that I definitely wanted to.
Oh, you're not just. It's a big.
No, I did some research.
You did some research?
I did, and I think I pulled some pretty decent ones. It's the holiday season. Mm-hmm. People are gonna probably eat a little too much, maybe put a few pounds on.
Oh yeah,
I've been known to do that.
Yeah, you started early.
Yeah, I started back in like March.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this time of the year, you don't have to be terrible. You can still work out. You can still try to get that workout in. Mm-hmm. Something that's going to help you, give you a little bit of motivation, is that first Phorm ignition. That right there, buddy. That'll get you off the couch.
That'll get you off the couch.
And that will get you in the gym.
Yep. And this is definitely bulking season.
Bulking season.
So yeah, you got to use stuff. You have to use stuff like ignition to get you going, man. And first Phorm, man, they hit it right on the mark with this. You get a little bit of that in your system, a full belly, you're going to want to hit the gym.
And we don't promote anything that we actually don't believe in. This is something you've said off camera and everything else. They're pre-workout.
Oh, it's
legit.
Oh, it is legit. There are many times where I have to go in deep because I don't feel like training. I don't have to anymore if I don't want to.
And that makes it tough.
And it does make it tough. So and I'm not sometimes I have super discipline and sometimes not so much. But I tell you what, if I get in the ignition, well, I'm gonna work out
whether you want to or not.
Yeah, because I got to burn that off. And no, First Phorm, First Phorm definitely got it right there, and what a product.
Absolutely. They've been with us essentially since the beginning. Great folks over there that make great products, great human beings, great Americans. We love everything about what they're doing. This holiday season, it's fine. If you want to eat that extra piece of pumpkin pie, that's fine. But just remember,
What about some white meat turkey? Like the late night, why does it got to be pumpkin pie?
I love me some good pumpkin pie, boy. Let me tell you something.
Might we digress there?
Oh, and the casseroles, man, alive. I'm not a turkey guy.
You're not a turkey guy.
I like turkey sandwiches.
what's
I
your
don't
meat
like
of
eating
choice?
ham. Give me a ham.
Figured.
Oh man, my ankles will be swollen by like Saturday from all the ham I eat.
You swallow all that sodium.
All that sodium.
Blowed up like a puffer fish.
It's bad. It's bad. It's to a point where like I have to. So I buy a ham for myself for the whole weekend. I'll cook it at the house and I'll eat the whole thing myself.
I don't need to know all
Yeah.
that.
So it's pretty bad. So, but come Monday,
Take that home with you.
After Thanksgiving,
Take that home with you.
I'm going to start my first Phorm regiment and get back in the gym and get myself in shape. That's the only way I can do it.
I normally hoard all the ignition when we have it here on set. Take that with you.
Take this one with me.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate First Phorm, guys. Go check out First Phorm. The link is in our description, and get yourself some great products. They got all kinds of stuff over there. They got beef sticks. They got the pre-workout. They got the proteins. They got everything you want. Some
Protein's
really-
solid too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good flavors there. The stuff works. Go check them out. Thank you, First Phorm, for supporting our podcast. We appreciate it.
Hang on, let me get some of my think juice. And we do this too. This is like this. We do Q&As.
Yeah, we're on Patreon, so people can go over to Patreon and get all of our other Q&As.
I'm getting rid of the sissy stick. I can't take
You can't
it
do the
anymore.
stick. You
I
can't do the straw
do it.
anymore. Let me
No.
move the urn over here.
There.
Hey, see now look at you like a man just drinking. There you go.
Yeah, baby.
There you go. So this comes from Dry Bones Productions.
Dry bones.
Dry Bones Production. If the Mean Mark Callous character got the attention and pop like the Undertaker, where would you have taken that character? Would it have been kind of like a WCW American Badass? Would you have returned some sort of Master of Pain, a Texas Red rides again? If Mean Mark Callous would have gotten that same pop that Taker got, that same push, where do you think you would have taken that Mean Mark Callous character?
Well, let me get another.
Well,
where would I have-
according to the checkbooks over at WCW, you wouldn't have been taking him to the bank.
Right, evidently. Yeah, I definitely would have. I would have been I'd been like an independent sensation,
You would
right?
have been, yeah.
I
So
don't,
the AJ Styles before he got to WWE,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a great wrestler. I don't know if he was making any money or not. But
yeah, that'd have been me, right? Yeah, that was. Yeah, even the Mean Mark, I still was. Yeah, I had the motorcycle chaps, and
yeah,
I would have probably continued along with that and just kind of honed in on that a lot sooner than I did, obviously, with American Badass. But no, I don't. Master of Pain. No, I don't think so.
Texas Red rides again.
Texas Red rides again. I'm the only Texas Red who wore a black mask.
It makes no sense.
Makes absolutely zero sense, right? But my hair was still red then, so I put a black mask on. They put a mask on because I looked like a baby, such a baby face at the time. So, I would have probably started dialing in on that whole biker theme a little sooner. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you already kind of had it with the chaps and stuff.
Yeah.
You had somewhere between like this cross of a Western and a biker. You know what I mean? Like this Western
Like a
look.
Western biker.
Yeah, like a Western biker almost. Yeah. All
Somebody's
right.
got a lot of spare time on their hands.
They do to think of things like this. So, time warp to 1999 for a minute. Where did the idea for the ministry goatee come from? Pointed at the corners of the mouth and shaped to a point, hanging off the chin. It reminds me of a pitchfork of sorts. Thank you, from Patrick Steer.
Obviously, I was trying to I was trying to look as demonic and as I could, and I'd had the goatee for so long. I just started letting it grow, and I think actually I got potatoed once in the chin, and I came back. And the hair on my chin was kind of split. I was like, I wonder. So then I started putting a little wax in there, and it turned into like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Little Dutch man tail,
A
actually.
little Yosemite Sam there. But yeah, it just happened by accident, really.
Yeah.
There's a hair on my microphone, and it's tickling me.
Oh.
All right.
Hey, Taker, a question I have been wondering is, where did your victory pose come from? Is there any meaning in, meaning in character for what it meant? Thank you. Where did your, Julian, your victory pose?
My victory pose, it's what was then referred to as Shakespeare. That's what that's called. That's what everybody refers to it as.
Okay, Shakespeare.
So hit the Shakespeare after the 1, 2, 3. It was all usually. It started around the urn. I started doing it. I used to hit the flying clothesline, and I would roll up onto my knee and foot. And then Paul would be there, and he would lift.
Oh, that's right.
He would lift the urn, and then that's where it started.
That's true.
And then because I didn't pander to the audience, that what?
A little dry mouth.
You get a little cotton mouth there.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of became my signature bow, really, without actually pandering to the audience. But that's where it came from.
And when did you transition that over to being the finish once you and Paul went your separate ways?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I just always remember doing it, but I know I didn't. I mean, I know there was a time where after I would just get up, and then Paul Bearer would be in the ring, and he would, there was a lot of times where I would look like I was going to go, inflict some more damage on my opponent, and Paul would snatch me by the hair and put the urn in my face and, tell me my work there was done.
Yeah.
But, probably at the end, after Paul was gone, I was on my own. It kind of became part of the repertoire.
That's why we brought the urn on set, so it draws you to come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that stuff. I can tell you that. When the urn goes, so
the
do
show
I.
goes with it. This I thought was one of the better questions that was submitted. It says, "Hey fellas, thanks for answering my last question about westerns. By the way, Matt, your comparison of Eastwood's later style to that of Johnny Cash's Hurt was pretty profound." I don't remember doing that, but I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night.
Yeah.
No. My question is, if you could have the lights go down and Undertaker pop up and disrupt any match in history, what match would it be? And when would the lights go out? From Dan Murphy.
He's asking me this, or is he asking you?
He's
that?
asking
It sounded
you.
like he was asking
No,
you.
no, he's asking you. If there's any match in history, lights go out, Taker pops up in the ring, he disrupts the match. What match would you have loved to have been able to disrupt in history?
Let me think. There's probably only 625 million matches that I could have done that in. Wow. It couldn't be my own, right? That wouldn't work.
No, that wouldn't make much sense.
Wow. What match could I?
I'm sitting here trying to think what makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, what makes sense for you to pop into a match? What match makes sense for your character to get involved in? You know? Montreal Screwed.
No, I was sitting here. I was sitting here. I was like, would I do that? Like, no.
Lights go out.
Lights go out. Lights come back on. Undertaker's in the sharpshooter.
Here's my thing. What part of that match would the Undertaker come
Yeah,
in?
like what? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Would it be during during the sharpshooter or post sharpshooter? Does the lights go out and Taker comes in there and rubs up Brett a little bit?
Yeah, I gotta think about this a little bit. I don't know what match. Man, I got to come up with something, but I don't. What match would I want to interfere in and cause a disruption?
Andre Hogan.
I thought about that one too, and I would have said that already, but Andre just came back to do that favor, right? For real. It's just like,
yeah.
It was. I'm really leaning towards that, but that was actually what was best for business, really.
There's a lot of selfish reasons that you would want to do it during that. I mean, you also have an opportunity to work with Andre, or be able to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been great. Even at that point, even with his health being the way it was, I would have still been able to. Man, I'd have sold my ass off for Andre. It would have been great.
Did whatever he wanted.
Whatever he would have wanted, I would have. It would have been awesome.
You can beat me all up. It doesn't matter. Bury the character. I don't care.
Man, that's such a good question. We're spending a lot of time because I really can't think of what match that I should. What controversial match has been out there? Or, I don't know, man.
I don't know if it makes sense or not. Brett versus Austin when Austin's in the sharpshooter. Mark, I got to start doing better, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to start doing better. I got to start exercising. I got to start eating better. I just got to start making some changes in my life. I keep saying this.
How long are we going to talk about?
It's been almost a year, but I got to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna this holiday season, I'm gonna do better.
You're going to do better in the holiday season?
I'm going to do better during the holidays.
You're going to pick the holidays to do better.
It seems like a good time.
Okay, hey,
this
brother.
time,
Hey.
it's better than ever. It's
right.
better than ever.
All right.
And Magic Spoon's going to help me. I'm going to just eat Magic Spoon from sun up to sundown.
Huh?
I think that's what's going to do it. Our friends over there, they've got great product. You keep it in your house. You don't let your kids eat it.
No.
You're just eating it by yourself
No, I
at
hide
night.
it. No, I hide it because they would eat it, and they can get away with eating regular cereal. But
And everybody knows about the cereal, but not everybody knows about the treats here, man.
the treats,
Magic Spoon. They turned their popular cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars.
see, I'd have to have those because actually, my kids don't like milk. Well, one of my kids doesn't like milk,
Yeah.
so she'd eat that up quick.
Oh, yeah. So it's just Magic Spoon's brand new treats are delicious and have already become the favorite for an after gym snack, pre-workout, all of those.
Yeah, I don't know how they make it taste so good with zero sugars, 4 net carbs, and loaded with protein, and it tastes good.
It actually tastes good.
Yeah, like I don't.
And I think that's the one thing about it. When people see this stuff, they go, "Oh, it's probably going to taste like the box that it came in."
Right.
But
No,
in
you're
all
pleasantly
reality,
surprised.
You're pleasantly surprised. Absolutely.
How do they do that?
Not mine. I have no idea, but they
Is
do
that
it.
the magic part?
That's the magic part. That's the magic part. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you're eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, There's so many more, though. And Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter.
That's got your name written all over it,
we
brother.
ran through these.
What? You got a mouse in your pocket? All I
And-
saw was an empty box.
For our fans and listeners, get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/6feet. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/6feet for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream.
Hold on to the dream. It's going to turn your world around,
It's
brother.
going to turn your world around. Thank you, Magic Spoon.
But see, that's the beginning of, that's all part of the beginning of his run.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Everything.
Because here's the thing is every single match that we've brought up, you've countered with, it's because that was the beginning of something. Every major match, I think people don't realize this, every big match, especially those main event matches in WrestleMania, it's a transition match.
Yeah.
It's a match that is setting the table for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So if you go in and The Undertaker comes into that match and disrupts that match, it throws off. It's like time travel. People talk about time travel. You can go back and you're going to change history. Well, if you change history, it could make it to where it kind of
things
screws
happen,
up.
screws the whole thing up all the way down the line.
Yeah, so you go in and you disrupt Hogan Andre.
Yeah.
That disrupts the business, not just Hogan's career or whatever. That disrupts the business.
Yeah.
And putting butts in seats and making money. Austin Brett, that disrupts, Montreal Screwjob. Got to get the belt off Brett.
Yep.
Can't come in and disrupt that, right?
Yep.
You got to get the belt off of him one way or the other. So every time you mention, because you don't think about just a house show, or you don't think about, you think about those.
You about the
pivotal-
key, the big moments.
the big moments,
Yeah,
those main event moments. Those main event moments are big moments for a reason, because it is setting the table, or it's
For what's
continuing
to
a
come.
story or
Yeah.
whatever. And if you go in and disrupt that, you're really going to screw up the future that a lot of us, we all love the Austin story. So you don't want to screw that
Maybe
up.
I'll have to interject myself into a different sport. Maybe like the last 4 weeks of the Cowboy season. Maybe I should have popped up and just it changed those finishes.
I think Jerry Jones would love nothing more than for you to come
Back
do some-
in, set up, and just disrupt the whole thing, right? Yeah, it's a tough year to be a Cowboy fan.
Oh my God, they're gonna hire you to go into the offices and start firing people and everything else.
Man, they need to do something.
Yeah,
It's rough, man. I'm glad my horns are doing good.
yeah. I've got to go up to Dallas after this, and I thought about hanging out on Sunday and going to the game, and I was like, I can probably get tickets pretty cheap at this point.
Man, who they have?
They got the
Eagles.
They got the Eagles.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
It's gonna be bad.
they got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So it's
Yeah, maybe we ought to go to the next question.
yeah, maybe Undertaker disrupting other sporting events.
That would not see. That would be good.
The Yankees would have loved for you to come in and disrupted the fifth inning of
right.
Game 5.
Just
Called that, yeah.
Just come in, set up. And,
Start that World Series all over again.
yeah. Wow.
That's yeah. How does the Undertaker disrupt other?
Now see that you can have, now you got a whole deal, right? Just Undertaker comes in and just clotheslines LeBron going in for this.
He's going in
Sits
for a
up out of
dunk.
nowhere and just cleans his clock.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of other teams that would love for you to have come in and done that. you
Yeah,
know,
I think so.
and helped out. Oh man, yeah. I think when it comes to the wrestling, though, you really screw up the.
Yeah,
It's a story.
yeah. There's so many things that would screw up that I can't mess with. I can't mess with wrestling.
No. Okay, I got one more here.
We can go. Yeah, let's just go, man. How many you got?
I literally have one more.
You only have one more?
Yeah.
That's weak, but all right, go ahead.
My name is Lee from the UK.
You know they love me in the UK.
They
right?
do. I've been a lifelong fan of you since the age of 2 years old. You've been a big part of my life, and I want to thank you for everything you have done. You've helped me on so many occasions when I feel like throwing in the towel from time to time. You are the person who helped pick me back up on my feet, so I truly thank you for everything you have done for people like myself. April 2023, I tragically lost my Nan. She was your biggest fan from when you first came through the curtain in 1990 all the way to the Hall of Fame, and she was the one who influenced you onto me at a very young age. There's so much I could tell you about her such stories, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But fast forward 2 months, I did indeed get to live my dream after 24 years and finally have had the chance of meeting you at your One Deadman show in Manchester, England. That day, I was representing my Nan, not just myself, as I knew she was right by my side and would be proud of me. I was the guy with the Undertaker sleeve you signed on his arm.
I remember.
Yeah, he sent pictures in.
Yeah, I remember.
And I want to let you know that I did get the signature tattooed on me. So thank you for giving me the missing piece to my arm. That memory means more to me than you'll ever know. I remember your kind words that day. You were very respectful. My question to you is this. What was it like filming the vignettes in cemeteries? And do you have any stories about being inside the cemeteries? When I seen the behind the scenes footage in the Last Ride documentary of you during the filming, it really did bring joy to me, as we had never seen behind the scenes stuff from the early days of your career. From Mr. Lee. So what was it like filming those vignettes in the cemeteries?
That is a great question, Lee. Man, back in the day, like in the early 90s. So go back to 92. The whole filming of building Kamala's casket.
Yeah.
We shot all those vignettes. I bet we shot 5-6 weeks of vignettes of the Undertaker building Kamala's casket, I think, which was going to be for SummerSlam or whatever it was. Wow. It's the middle of winter. And so that iteration of the Undertaker was the black spandex tights, wrestling boots, the cloth shirt, and the leather gloves. It's 28 degrees outside. Now I'm in the blacksmith shop of I don't even remember where we were at, but they had the fire raging in there. But like between takes, when you weren't doing something, you can see as I'm talking and Paul's you can see our breath. That's how cold it was. It was absolutely miserable. And sometimes, so we shot 5-6 weeks of that. So they had to, we would finish one and then they'd have to reset the lighting and microphones and everything else for whatever the next shot was going to be. Back then, they didn't have trailers or craft services or any of that. I had to go sit in Bruce Pritchard's car and crank up the heat and just wait, right? And he had a small car, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm miserable. And then you have to get out of the heat and go back in through the cold.
That's even worse. Yeah.
That one was bad. But the one that we shot, so at it was the Royal Rumble, I think, 93, when I wrestled Yokozuna. I may be wrong. I think it was the Rumble. Where all the guys came down and attacked me.
Yeah.
And then they ended up, I fought 10 guys and they finally get me down and they put me in the casket that I was supposed to put Yokozuna in. And then that's where my spirit ascended out of the building. It was really ahead of its time, I think, some of the cool stuff that we did. But that night, like after the show, Grant, it's January, and we're somewhere up in the Northeast. I don't remember where that. Please don't get on me because I don't remember where it was at. And if I got the paper wrong, excuse me for that too. But I do remember it's January.
Yeah.
And we're in the cemetery, and there's snow, and it's like flesh freezing chill factor in the air.
Jeez.
And again, there's no trailer for me. There's no anything, and there's no fire. I'm basically walking through the cemetery, 2 feet of snow maybe, and trying to do these scenes and walk through the snow and then deliver my lines, and just praying that I did it right the first time so I could go sit back in the car again and thaw out. It was so, and we went, I bet, until 2, 3 in the morning. Maybe even later than that, because I didn't get out of the arena until late, and then we went right to the cemetery to film. So, and it's, I mean, those are legit cemeteries. I don't know.
Did y'all rent them out, or was it just like we're gonna roll up and just walk
they
out
were
and-
just they would find people that were like fans, and then they would let us come in, and we would dig a hole somewhere, and it was crazy, man. It was like,
hook them
geez,
up with some tickets. And,
obviously we never shot the gate or the name of the cemetery, but I think people might have, if they'd have known, they would have been. I don't know, what are they going to do? I can't take them back, but I was like, oh, but yeah, I mean, some really, really big old cemeteries up in the Northeast, and I mean, just crammed full of dead people. It was those conditions in the early years. Like I said, you always were in character. You're always in gimmick, and believe me, spandex is not the material to be walking around a cemetery in January in Connecticut or the Northeast.
There were no like what we take
Hot pockets.
Yeah,
no hot pockets.
Yeah, the hot when we go hunting.
Nothing.
You know,
No.
we put those in our hands and stuff, in our
Holy
in our
crap!
hoodie.
What I'd give for a thermal pair of bibs or something, but it was so cold and miserable. You know when you see it months later, you see the final product. You're proud. Like, dang, that's good. That's really good stuff. But man, in the process, forget about it, man. It sucked.
Yeah, I mean, and you're trying to make it as realistic as possible. So like the Hollywood stuff and everything, so you don't want to really do, but you like being out there in the actual real cemetery and everything else. I mean, that's
And now, and a little tidbit that I forgot too is like, my hair was always wet. It was part of the look, right? It was that,
so you have to wet it before you go.
I had to start breaking ice
Oh,
and
my
crap out of my
God.
hair. It was so cold. Oh, it was. Oh. And poor Bruce. Bruce had to. He got all my frustration. I know. We're gonna get one more shot. We'll get, and then be 3 shots later. I'm like,
But then let's think about this too. You probably had to leave from there and drive to the next city to work the next night.
that particular one, the one after the Royal Rumble,
You didn't have to.
I didn't have to because I was taking time off.
Yeah.
I had to take time off because my body needed to heal itself. Is why I was taking time off.
You were doing cryotherapy before.
Yeah, that
it
was
over.
it's cut a lot of my inflammation out just walking around the cemetery full of snow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, those vignettes were cool though. I mean, as a kid, it'd scare you looking at them.
Vital part of
Yeah.
the character development were those vignettes. The vignettes really set the table for who that character was. I mean, I could walk out in front of a crowd, obviously, and be ominous and scary, but those vignettes is what give the roots to the character. And
Were those like really the first vignettes that were happening outside of, like, on location somewhere? or some of the first at least?
There were no. I remember way back in the day, like they did some really hokey stuff with Gene Okerlund and George the Animal Steel and Savage. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they would go to Savage's house. and with
they
Miss
would do stuff.
Elizabeth.
But outside in the real elements, those stuff, the stuff that we were doing, man, was creepy. Like I said, because not only is it nighttime, there's snow on the ground, there's fog everywhere,
Yeah.
and then anytime you delivered a line, the fog of your breath just made it that much more scary and ominous, and it was just the whole mood, and the fact that you're physically miserable. Seriously, it helps with the mindset. Like you're physically miserable, so it was easy for me to tap into
that character
even more.
It'd have been hard for I guess we'll call it like a Hulk Hogan, especially back then. Like it's supposed to be this positive, let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
Throwing him in those elements, like that's not not going to work very well.
No, brother. Brother is going. I need to go back to Tampa, brother.
Yeah, I'm with my brother. We're going to get on a plane.
We need to get to the beach.
I'm going to get to the beach and cut my promo. That's where I'm cutting my promo.
Yeah, he was a little. Maybe I guess it was a little smarter. choosing the musclehead gimmick over the Deadman gimmick. Right?
Maybe you should have thought about that a little bit more before you said yes to the Undertaker.
Yeah,
right?
no, I mean I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a thing. But those vignettes, they were miserable to do, but they were so rewarding.
It is something that I feel like people ask about the vignettes a lot, especially the cemetery vignettes, because and that means that they stuck with people, versus a lot of the other ones that. Whatever.
They don't leave you with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were people, and I still get questions. Yeah. Too, like when I do a signing, somebody will randomly hit me up. Hey, do you still have Kamala's coffin you built? I got the blueprints. I actually have the blueprints that
you do have the blueprints.
I have the blueprints of it framed that somewhere in storage somewhere.
Oh, that's yeah.
That'll be worth some ching one day.
Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all listening. Thank you to all of our sponsors. First Phorm, Happy Dad, Draftkings, Bluechew, Chew It,
and Do It,
Artisan Grange, Magic Spoon, all the great people that have helped keep this podcast rolling. We appreciate it. Most of all, we appreciate y'all. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to head over to our Patreon to submit questions like you heard today. Mark, thank you very much, bud, and we'll see you next week.
All right, buddy.